Okay, we need to start.
Okay, hey guys, it's Dustin.
Hey guys, it's Amanda.
We're just catching up. We haven't seen each other in a while. I think that's kind of the way things are going as of late because, we're busy. We're doing other things. So we're catching up, which we shouldn't really be doing in the podcast. We should be talking about what the content. So
we actually did make plans to hang out tomorrow. So we're going to hang out then and catch up. But it's hard not to just talk about stuff when you see each other.
And that's what I'm saying. So what we're going to be doing in this podcast is talking about our content, but we'll probably be catching up still at the same time. You can't prevent that.
Yeah, it'll be juicy, we promise.
So today was interesting. Yesterday. So Jane, she came into our store.
Jane's a regular customer of ours.
Fucking amazing customer.
She's very funny.
The thing about her is that she's like, she's just really, not fake. Like, she'll come into the store and raise her voice and just say provocative things. And it's just like you need that sort of thing in your life. And especially if you're in a place where you're at, where you work, where we work, especially. Because there's this sort of type of people that come in and, snooty. Anyway, so she comes in and she gives me a Christmas present. And it was really awesome. And this is the funny part. She said gummies. I had no idea what she was talking about.
Really?
Because I was making drinks. So she was like, "Oh, I got some gummies for you."
Oh,
she was acting really sneaky. Like,
you were on the bar.
She was like, "Can you give me a bag?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can give you a bag." And she was like, she hid it under the counter and started putting one in after the other. And
they literally just look like gummies.
I thought it was something really expensive. Like, she didn't want people to see how expensive it was. I was like, oh, I'm really excited. So anyway, she puts the bag by the place where we put a lot of our utensils to pour our drinks and stuff. And so that was there. And it just happened really quick. So I was still making drinks at that time, and then I looked back and the bag was gone, and I started freaking out because I was like, "Oh no! What's happening?"
I get it. I thought you left them in the back room and Sammy threw them out. Oh,
no.
Okay.
And it happened
so she thought it was just some customer that left it there.
And now here's where it gets a little confusing. I'll try to be a little bit more clear. So when Jane put the bag on she gave it to me, I put it on the counter. I started kind of my brain was starting to work again, and I was like, oh,
the wheels started turning.
Thank you. I was gonna try. I couldn't fucking figure that out.
Yeah, I know.
The wheel started turning, and I was like, oh fuck. She gave me gummies. She's not going to give me regular gummies.
So just so in case everybody hasn't caught up, gummies as in weed gummies.
Weed. And there's very different types. So that you get your indica, your sativa.
Do you know what these ones are? Is this a hybrid?
She said it was a mixture. I remember something like that. So, but honestly, don't expect anything.
Exactly. That's really what I have to go into it with. Not expecting anything.
That's what I noticed from you the last time. You were so conscious of that.
I was waiting to hear it. I was waiting to feel it.
That was making me paranoid.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I was like, am I high yet? Am I feeling it yet? What's going on? Am I different?
And then when we were at the table,
it just hit me.
Michelle was, and you were like, that was when it was great because you weren't thinking about it.
So anyway,
sorry, that's a sidetrack. So anyway, the bag's gone. The candies are gone, and I'm like, oh no, what the fuck? And
what if some little kid picked them up?
Oh my god! Right? Like anything could have
happened. Exactly.
And so I was like, I started asking baristas, and I was like, hey, do you know where this is? And then I went to my manager. I was like, hey, do you know where my Christmas present is, or that bag was? I said bag, where the bag was, and she was like, oh, well, there were just 3 gummies in it, and I just threw them out. It was a big bag with 3 fucking candies in it. Of course I'm going to throw it out.
Right.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. So, it was a Christmas present. Jane gave it to me, and she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And so she went she went into the garbage and she pulled it out. Now, what's funny about that, now that I'm thinking about it, she dug fucking deep. She went really deep. So I don't know if she stuffed it in the garbage, or if maybe the time went by a lot faster than I thought it did. Anyway, that's another side note. But so she pulls it out, and my manager has gummies in her hand. My manager literally has weed,
and doesn't know it. Not to say that managers, shouldn't do that. It's just that Semi, our manager, is this Korean lady, and she's got 3 young children under the age of 5 or 8.
And hasn't she adopted?
No, they're all hers.
Oh, I thought she adopted 2. I thought she has a lot more than 3.
Oh, no, just 3. Anyway, so she's this little innocent mom. And anyway, I can just imagine it, the 3 gummies in her hand. And you're just oh, shit.
So that happened, and I was like, oh, man, this is crazy. And So yeah, then I take them and I put them in my pocket.
That's so funny. I'm so glad you got them back.
Oh, me too. Well, like,
that was tragic.
and then I found out it was 25 grams later. I didn't know how much it was. I thought they're huge. They're huge. Massive.
Like compared to the ones that you guys get that we've done.
Yeah.
They're like double the size.
So
maybe triple.
If I trip out, I'm sorry. You guys have to take care of me. Don't call the police.
If you trip out, I'm the one that hasn't done any sort of narcotics in almost a week.
You were making that sound like it was going to be a longer time than a week.
I know. That's good for me, though. I usually smoke pot, sometimes 5 nights a week, sometimes 7.
Yeah.
But I decided to take a break just to prove to myself that I don't need it, and I don't. And to be honest with you, I've noticed now that I haven't been smoking is I'm less groggy in the day, and my mind is a little bit less foggy. But it does take me longer to fall asleep.
Yeah.
It does. Like last night was bad.
It's the same thing with anything though. Like I remember getting McDonald's and it was so exciting.
Yeah.
It was so exciting as a kid because it never fucking happened.
That was like me too. We had it as like a treat once in a while.
And when we had it once in a while, it was awesome. I'm not some fat obese child. Quite
the opposite.
Quite the opposite. Like I'm not ill. So, I mean, it wasn't bad for me as a child. I'm sorry. McDonald's in moderation isn't bad for you. So
no, exactly. And that's the way that it should be.
I mean, weed isn't really bad with, like, you can smoke as much weed as you want.
I think everything in moderation is okay.
Yeah, exactly. So 25 grams. That's a fucking lot. So I don't know how we're gonna. If I trip out, just don't call the police. That was our first mistake.
Wait. So what's 25 divided by 2?
Wait, 25 milligrams, not grams. That would be a fuck ton.
Oh yeah. So if we split one, what is 1/2?
I want one whole one.
You're crazy.
You're gonna have one with me.
Are you crazy?
Justin had 85 or 75.
So I had 75 that one night.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna stick with half. I think you should do half, and if you don't feel it, have more later. You might as well just start small. Don't look at me like that.
We'll see tomorrow.
Okay.
I feel like in the moment you'll be like, oh, you'll pop that thing faster than a fucking like, what do you call it? Wait, okay.
The only thing is I don't want to green out. Like when I heard about your experience, I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast.
Okay, so let me be more clear about that.
Green out.
I don't call it green out.
Oh, you don't?
Anymore.
What did you? You did though.
I call it a bad trip. So
that's what
green out doesn't really exist. I don't think it does. I think
I only
it's
heard that
term
from you.
It's
That's
it's just slang.
I'm just it's slang. Short language. And so I actually think it was just a bad trip, not because of the amount, but because of my mind state in the particular moment in time.
Okay.
We were watching a show, and
this was like one of the first times you did gummies, right?
Mm-hmm. And so we were watching this.
It was the first time, I think.
Yeah, which is really interesting.
Which is interesting to know that you actually tried it again and again and again and again after that. Everything was fine. Because that was my first time. I'd be reluctant.
The thing, and it wasn't that it wasn't ending. It wasn't that it was like, oh, it's lasting forever. It was where my mind was at.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more, you realize, like, because I was born Christian and I believe there's a God and that's the end, right? Like, I don't think there's like where everything just goes away. So when I was high, I was like, what if there isn't a God? And then I started thinking about those sort of things, and I don't even mean, I mean any God. Like there's nothing that we're just here on this planet. There's no spirituality. There's no anything. And I just started thinking about that in a safe way. Like there was nothing wrong with that, in a critical way. And I was like, okay. And then I just started thinking about how we're almost like vessels. We're almost like puppets, just with like a really good brain. Like we're really nothing more than that. And then it just kept going and going and going. And another part about it was we were watching Rick and Morty. And so it could have been any show, really. It wasn't the fact that it was just Rick and Morty, although it is a very smart and very cool cartoon. But it was interesting because I was realizing that Rick and Morty were like, this is how I viewed it. It was like Rick and Morty were one person, and it was my thought. It was my thoughts that they were protruding out, that they were talking. Like each shot, each conversation or setting specifically. So there would be one scene where they're at like a court all of a sudden. And then there was another scene where they were in the spaceship. So every scene was another thought process that I had. Mm. And it was really freaking me out because it was never ending.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started to think that there's this sort of fear that we have that will never end.
And I can kind of see why that took you over the edge, because knowing you when you're high, and already you as a person are you're an overthinker.
I'm a very critical.
You analyze everything.
Yeah, critical.
So you high and then being too high, I can see how that would turn into a really bad trip.
So one of the cool things that actually breaks me from all of that is something that Michelle was telling me, is that I'm a solid mass on a piece of rock. And when I think about that, that actually calms me down. Like, I am a solid mass on a piece of rock that is spinning in outer space. Like, that actually calms me down.
Calm.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I don't know why it does, but it makes me calm. And it's funny because I know Michelle's had the same sort of bad trip that I had. So, that sort of thing. And, like, let's be clear. Like, I've had more than just weed, and I've never had any sort of bad experience before, and a large quantity of other things before. So I don't know what it was this time. I think maybe it's because I'm in a state where I'm trying to get a career, that sort of thing going. Yeah. And that's really real rather than just being in a college and just fooling around.
Right.
So I think that's all of everything that I'm saying is playing a part. But anyway, so, don't do drugs when you're at the work environment. Let's reel this back into the podcast. Don't do that sort of thing. I mean, if you're able to do it, just try to remember that that you'll never know what's going to happen. Because I mean, I'm not the moral compass for doing weed. I don't have expertise, but I mean, be in reality while you're in the workplace. It's fine. If you're stressed out or if you're anxious, instead talk to people, tell people like, hey, I'm in a bad mood today. I did this. And actually, I told Justin in the podcast today that I was like in a bad state, and like verbalizing it makes you feel better. So I think that's kind of really important.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my spiel. That was my, well, actually everything rolled together. It was my story for the at the store I was at.
Speaking of work and weed, though, I don't think I would ever smoke weed.
Well,
before work, like,
it's interesting. It happens a lot. We and not just the work environment, but at schools like colleges and
I never did that in school, and I never did it at work. It's something that I do and that I've always done, with close friends, in the safety of someone's home. It's not something I like to do in public, but.
And that brings it back to moderation, like having McDonald's once in a while. I do it because it's fun. I don't do it because I need it, and that's kind of the reality. I mean, Justin was talking with this one coworker how you're either doing it or you're not. Mm-hmm. Like, you're either smoking weed or you're not, and I don't believe in that. It doesn't make sense to me. So,
well, I think for some people, it's either you do it or you don't do it, because some people have really addictive personalities. But I think for people like you and I, like, we can identify, when it's a right time to do it and when it's not an appropriate time to do it.
Yeah. I find I have a very strong addictive personality, and I also find I have a strong withheld personality. Okay. So I have both. So I can definitely... Maybe
there's just some things that trigger that. Yeah, weed isn't one of them. Like, that's how I am as well.
I think, for me, I think it's starting to, like, I've been thinking about sexuality a lot lately. I think a lot of that's really what is more triggering than... weed or drugs in general. So, but that's a whole nother story.
But I think but also just back to like how you were saying, kind of the state of mind that you were in before you took that gummy and then kind of had a bad trip. It's similar to, like, for example, when you drink. I've never been a big drinker, but I've had times where, usually when you drink because you're in a good mood and you're happy and you're celebrating or you're socializing or whatever. Yeah. But of course, there's people who have drank, and I've done it a couple times, I think, in my life, where you're not in the best state of mind and you drink. Mm-hmm. And I've done that a couple times, and they did not end well. I was in tears and I was really upset. So I feel like it's all about your mindset as well, because
mental health too.
Yeah, because drugs are meant to enhance how you're feeling mentally.
Your mental capacity.
Right. So if you're not in a good spot, it's going to get worse if you that's the way that I've experienced it. It could be different for some people. Yeah. I think if you drink enough, you'll black out. But I mean, I don't think any of us are, at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. So
anyway.
That's all I have to say about that.
All right. So
anything with you lately?
Nope. Just been working at my other job, which I'll just clarify
it's more private, right?
Yeah. Like, I can't really talk about it. It's kind of a confidentiality thing, but it's in the field that I studied. And I mostly do volunteer, but I do get paid to work there sometimes. But lately I've been working there more. So I haven't really seen Dustin this week in terms of work because I worked there yesterday and I worked there today. I got someone to take my shift today.
Busy bee.
Yeah, so it's been good. So we'll see. I'm thinking maybe in the new year some more work will come of it, but we'll see.
Do you have to get up early?
Sometimes. Today I did. I got up at 5.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I started there at 6:30, and then I got to go back for 3:30.
Is it like what you would call a split shift, or?
Yeah, kind of. It's just they're low staff today, and that's why I got offered this shift today, and that's why.
Interesting. That's your opportunity if they're low staff.
Exactly, and it's holidays, And speaking of holidays, I'm going to be going away Wednesday next week for 10 days. So this is going to be our last podcast for the year.
Yes.
So we thought that we'd maybe, I don't know, Justin kind of brought up maybe doing a Christmas themed podcast, even though we're already halfway through it. We could just kind of talk about Christmas for a bit.
Yeah, well, I got my gifts.
Did you? Did you do all your shopping?
No, I got my gift from Jane.
Oh.
And also we got another gift from Sam.
Sam? Who's Sam?
Sam.
Oh, Sam.
Yes.
What did she do? Did she give everybody money?
She gave, well, for what I know, $20.
For everybody?
Well, for me.
Oh.
And probably for everybody.
She vents to me all the time, so I'm assuming I got like 50. Just kidding.
Let me know.
But last year it was 10. Everybody got 10, and I had just started. I was only in at the job 1 month, and she'd give everybody $10, and I was like, "Who is this woman? Like, she is very generous."
Very generous.
Nice. So I got some moolah.
Me too. I'm just gonna put it right into the
$20.
bank
Hey,
account. That's a substantial amount.
That's
not
a
just
very
like pocket
nice
change.
amount. Yeah, and we have about 14 people on our staff at the store. So that adds up.
That's
and
literally like $300.
Yeah, I know. Well, she's very generous.
Wow.
Very generous. So yeah, that was the Christmas spirit is there. I was thinking about though, I am tired of hearing Christmas music every year. Like I really am. Yeah. And I know Christmas is a part of Canadian and North American culture. Well, actually, United States and Canadian culture.
Yeah, Western. Western culture.
Not so much Mexico. I think they have a different thing, but I'm
Feliz Navidad.
I'm actually getting really concerned about it because it almost feels
like it's forced.
Not well. I mean,
like shoving it down your throat.
Like brainwashing. Like because
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere, and it makes me think like, should we have that? And I don't want to get political here, honestly. I'm still on the fence. Like I still don't care or not because it brings a lot of good nostalgia. I mean, it's good for the family. It's good for a good spirit. But like when you're in a bad state, then all that stuff just starts sounding like garbage. It just sounds terrible. And so I mean,
that's why sometimes at our store,
what do you think about that?
I feel like it's too much sometimes. Mm-hmm. And one of our other summer, she was like, "Oh, you don't like Christmas music?" I was like, "Yeah, Christmas music is fine, but sometimes it's just too much." So I'll change the music sometimes just to give us a break.
Because like if I'm happy, I could listen to anything.
Right.
But when I'm sad, then then the music starts limiting, and I think that has to do. Some of that music has to be Christmas music, because you realize how repetitive it is. You need a lot of energy to hear repetitive music, and when you're sad, you don't really have that energy.
And when you say repetitive, I think it also comes down to hearing the same song but by different artists. So it's like different versions of the same song. That can get really like, okay, all right.
On the brighter side, Sia, she came out with her Christmas album.
Love her.
She made her own Christmas music.
I know Gwen Stefani came out with a Christmas album this year.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Gwen Stefani is copying.
Oh, Christmas. Sia did her own thing.
Sia has made brand new music.
No kidding. I gotta check it out. I love her.
One's called Candy Cane. It's really good. It's her style though, which is really cool.
I love Sia. I saw her live.
Oh, really?
When she first got big. Yeah, in Australia, because music festivals in Australia are huge.
Oh, that's cool.
So when I went to one of the music festivals with my friends, she was like one of the smaller acts back then. That was back in like 2009.
Well, think about Mariah Carey, like that song, "I Don't Wanna Laugh for Christmas." That's her song. She made that, or whoever, her team or whatever. So. And it is funny when I think about that because I'm like, oh, this is just traditional Christmas music. Nope, it's not. She made that like 20 years ago. Yeah. So I think, best of luck for Sia for her. Like, I want to hear different stuff. Like, I don't want to constantly hear the same old shit.
Yeah.
And even, when in doubt, what happens when you get tired of old music, you listen to remakes. What happens when the remakes you get tired of the remakes, right? So
there's only so many versions you can do.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Justin?
About remakes?
About, well, what we were talking about, Christmas music.
Sorry,
in
I was
general.
like really focusing on the sound levels and not really paying attention to what
Well,
you
you're
were
being
saying.
responsible
So sorry.
Oh, that's
producer.
okay.
No, I actually, Mariah Carey, I didn't realize that was her own song.
Really?
Yeah, I love that. I think it's really cool. I think more artists should do that, but I think it is really
No,
hard
wait,
to
is
make
that
like
her
an
song?
iconic.
Yeah, she sings. That
All I
is-
Want for Christmas Is You.
Yeah.
But that's a song. That's a song. That's her song?
Yeah,
There's no other version of that song that was like old school?
maybe, but I'm pretty sure she's
Oh, yeah, that's
claimed that.
definitely her own version, but I don't know if that
You think
song-
there's another?
I have
okay.
no idea. I'll check it out.
Well, we have technology. Let's try it right
Oh,
now.
yeah. Cool.
Are you guys signed into the Wi-Fi?
I haven't.
I was, but they kick you out.
Oh,
on it.
it's so shitty. I know.
Like, I don't get it. Like, if you sign in, they should remember it. Why?
It's the same with my work. I don't know what it is.
Speaking of your work, Justin,
I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
are they playing Christmas music there too, or is it not so much a big thing in restaurants?
Not so much, actually. Well, the thing is, we have like we don't listen to the radio. We have like playlists on
playlist,
iTunes that we have set up in the back room, and yeah, we just
kind
kind
of have
like
that.
Yeah, we have that too. It's like a globalized
Oh, okay.
playlist.
yeah. So not really. Oh, I quit, guys.
Woo!
Officially, hey?
This has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but
It
I
does.
figured now,
Yeah, no, it does.
now that
work.
we brought up my
Yeah.
restaurant,
So when is your last day?
I gave my 2 weeks like 3 days ago. So,
Oh.
and by the way, this podcast is coming out a lot later than Christmas, just because we're a little bit
Behind.
But yeah,
Cool.
Christmas Eve should be my last day. But I told him, I was like, if you need me throughout the holidays, like I am kind of available.
That's
but
great.
I don't,
So what are you planning on doing for work then? Are you going to look for something in the new year?
Well, I do have something set up. I one of my hosts knows the owner of this place. Is called. Oh, I guess I shouldn't say it because we're
Okay.
probably going to talk about it in the future.
Yeah.
But
That's good.
I will be serving. And if that
Oh,
doesn't work
good.
out, I don't know. I have time. I have.
And you know what?
some
Once
money
you
saved
once you
up.
have that
It's okay.
experience, there's so many places you could go to.
It
I mean,
opens up every fucking.
Oh,
place.
I know.
And there's no shortage of places like that in Vancouver. So you're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know you've got savings and stuff. You're very smart. So good for you.
Yeah, I got a couple of months that if I don't have a job for a couple of months, I'll survive. But
Yeah.
it'd be nice to get a job right away.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sure you will. Especially
Yeah.
in the new year. You know, people go back to school and holidays are done. And so people are looking, to
Yeah.
hire full time or whatever.
I'm really excited for 2018. I think it's going to be a really good year.
Oh, God. I said that about 2017.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not trying to be negative, but like, I just, you know what though? It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't.
It's all within your grasp. Like, you need to make it what you want it.
Yeah.
So-
we face rejection we need to face rejection all the time because it makes us stronger and then we keep going. That's keep moving
But
forward is
I'm
so
glad that
important.
you have a good feeling about 2018.
Yeah, I just feel like because in 2017 I was still in school, and
Oh, okay.
and now I just feel like things are changing, and
Yeah,
I hope it's
a lot.
good. Like it's changing for me and Dustin, and for you too, Amanda. I think because you're more wanting to look for a job in your field.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I think
feeling
it's
it
gonna
from
be
you,
a good
Amanda.
year,
I really
yeah.
feel like good things are coming your way. So
I'm definitely feeling better than I was feeling last week or even 2 weeks ago. I was in a really bad place. So
Yeah.
jumped out of that.
And whenever you are in that bad place, give us a ring or come to our
Yeah,
house.
I should because you guys always put me in a better mood. You know,
Like,
it's just
just-
that, you know, you guys, I don't know if you can relate, but like, you know, when you're kind of in a depression and you don't want to, but you just automatically hibernate and you isolate and and it makes it worse, but you don't intentionally mean to do it. It's
Here's-
just like what your body is telling you to do.
Here's what I do. It's not even for me. It's a lot in my head. So when I'm depressed, I just think of like the worst possible thing that the situation could have been. Like if you looked at me and you're like, "Hey, how's it going?" I could be like, "Oh, she's just trying to make me feel bad." Like I think of unnecessary things. That's where my head goes.
Oh, interesting.
Like I think if I
You get more paranoid. Sort of?
depressed,
Oh, yeah.
depressed and paranoid, yeah. But on a lighter note, "All I Want for Christmas Is You" is a Christmas song performed by American singer and songwriter Mariah Carey. She wrote and produced the song with Walter Afanasieff. Columbia Records released it.
Oh, okay. So it's not
on
a previous song.
November 1st, 1994.
Wow.
So
Oh,
how
wow.
old is that?
That's
So
my age.
That's when I was born.
So that's 24 years old? 23?
Roughly,
23
yeah,
or 24?
23.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts. I could have sworn that was a song that had been done before, but I guess not.
But isn't that crazy though? Because it's so intertwined
Well, yeah.
into the
in 94 I was 8 years old, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So hello. So the same thing's gonna happen with Sia if you think about it. Like she has some catchy
Hopefully.
shit going on. For
I'm
Christmas
definitely gonna be looking that up later.
Yeah.
I have to work at our work tomorrow at 6 a.m. Fun.
Rough.
Yeah.
Yay. It's just nice knowing that we have good management there now. That's such a relief.
I had a chat the other night when I was there. Tuesday I closed. I had a chat with Lorelai. She came in. And I realize I can be a little bit cold at first. You have to kind of warm up to me, or I have to warm up to you. But I've accepted her now. Because I don't know. I didn't know what she was doing there. She just kind of came in and started like making ridiculous requests and changing things that didn't need to be changed. And anyway, and then she was just kind of like, I know what it's like to have a store where you've had 3 or 4 different managers in the last year. It's frustrating but I want you to know that. I said, well, we love what we've seen with Semi so far. She's great. And she's made great changes already. And, and she was just kind of reiterating that Semi is serious and she's there to stay and she's really going to make it better. And I was just like, yeah, no, I think so too. And yeah, and she said a few nice things to me, which was nice, kind of asking where I'm at and what I want to do. And
yeah, I was telling her about I'm not best friends with Lorelai, but that's the same thing. I was talking with her. I was telling her that I got a job interview, and she was like, "Oh, I'm rooting for you." Like, it's just she's really cool.
She is very nice, and she's new in her job as well. She was a store manager, and now she's in her 3-month probation, I think, or 3-month trial of being a district manager, which I'm sure she's going to just kill it. This is a new job for her as well. So
it's a lot. It is true though. It's a lot more work when you get up there.
Oh yeah.
But it's also there's a lot more eyes on you, which is interesting. Not a lot of people care when you're a barista or shift supervisor, but once you start really making management positions, they're the ones looking at you.
Yeah, they're the ones that have to really make things happen and make sure that they're communicating to the store managers of what needs to get done. And make sure that everybody is communicating to who they need to be communicating to.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Natalia was really good at that. She was able to deal with what upper management was telling her, but also filter it out to communicate to.
I love Natalia. They came in on Tuesday.
Oh, I missed that.
Her and her mom and her little peanut.
Her mom?
Her mom's been here since before the baby was born.
I want to meet her mom.
Oh, her mom doesn't speak any English. But
really?
No English, but very nice. I've met her twice now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all came in and the baby was sleeping.
Aww.
So didn't get to see her eyes, but she's very cute.
Just like, let me look at your ass.
What color are they? No, she's very cute. And actually it's weird because Semi, and we were just saying after she left, usually Natalia kind of came in at that time because she knew it would be kind of slower. She came in around 12:30ish, 1. We were smoking busy. From when I started at noon to about 3 o'clock, it was nonstop rush, nonstop. So there was not much visiting we could do with her. I felt bad.
Right.
We just texted her after. I said, oh, it's too bad it was so busy. And she's like, yeah, it's okay. But we got to see her, and she looks really good. Her hair is so long now. But she looks really happy. She's glowing, and she just looks like a mom. So, and I was like, are you already thinking about having a second? And I could tell she's already been thinking about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
I know. It's so nice. It's just nice to see people, when you know them from a different... when I remember when I first met Natalia, I had the interview with her, and I thought, oh, look at this funky little, she had, this crazy hair when I met her. It was, all over, and then it was, she was wearing some, crazy colors, and I was just like, oh, look at this funky chick, and she's only a few years older than me, and now she's, this mom, and we're, friends, and we talk all the time. I don't know. She's just such a sweet lady.
I thought she was a boss. When I first met her, I was like, she's a boss-ass bitch. She knows...
she is.
She's
HBIC.
She's HBIC, and she's kind of exotic. That's what I was thinking at first.
Yeah.
And OCD, because she told me that, and I was like, I love you. Please be my manager.
A lot of the most successful people in life are OCD, but I think you need to keep it at bay. Because I've had OCD, extreme, and it's not fun. It takes over your life, and it's
you know what? I use OCD lightly, and I shouldn't. It's more so just very organized.
No, I totally know what you mean. Everybody's a little OCD, but if you're talking about actual OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder,
you would know a lot of that.
Yeah, I didn't have it for very long.
Not because of you having it, but also because you are very knowledgeable in your area. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but for sure.
It's interesting. That's cool. I don't want to bring up your job because I know it's private and stuff, but it's really cool that, you've had your experiences, whatever that may be, and you are able to apply that to the way you are able to communicate in your area. It's,
well, yeah, you know what?
Through experience.
You know what's so funny is. So the when I first realized what I wanted to do for a living, like when I was young, it was like, oh, I want to be an actress or I want to be a vet because I love animals or whatever. But when I actually
those are really two different things. I want to be an actress. I want to be a
well,
veterinarian.
I was always in acting classes when I was a kid, and I was in all of the plays at school.
I want to see some of that.
Oh
shit.
yeah, like I loved that. I was an entertainer for sure.
You are.
Loved doing improv and shit like that. Oh yeah.
Really?
I haven't done that stuff in so long, but in high school, I was in the drama club. Like,
you could pull off being a comedian. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. Though
I know
you're different. You're
I
different, and
know.
I've never seen someone like you before. You have a lot of like bad stuff that's happened in your life, but you are able to take
Not
it and make it
really.
funny.
Yeah,
you do, and I really think you have a lot of potential. Sorry to be all like
Thanks.
ooey gooey, but
no, that's nice.
and knowing that you've had that experience now,
I just
so
look
cool.
at Michelle though, who's an actual like comedian who's been trying to make it in that field for a while and who's really been working on her craft. I don't know. I think you need to be a certain type of person, and I just don't know if I have that quality, but. Anyway, that's a nice compliment. But when I was in high school, like when I got to about like I think 14, 15, that's when I really started thinking about what I actually wanted to do and what I would actually be good at. And I was always that friend amongst my friends who I'd be the one that everybody went to talk to and who would listen to them and they felt listened to and they felt like I reflected and I empathized with them. Yeah. That was just my thing. And then shortly after high school, I volunteered at the Vancouver Crisis Center for 5 years. So that's really involving a lot of reflections and empathy and you know, suicide risk assessments and all that. So I feel like I really, I don't know, I really like, it just solidified what I really wanted to do. So so I wanted to do that. That's what I was starting to pursue. And then all the anxiety disorders and stuff, that all started after. Not before, after. So it's not like I was like, oh, I want to do this because not only am I a good listener and I like to help people, but I've been through it myself. No, I hadn't been through it myself until after.
Oh, wow.
So it actually helped because it helped with not just like listening and counseling, but actually relating to people who have anxiety.
Right.
Because I've had a few anxiety disorders now.
Right.
Yeah, that I've overcome. And yet, but no, I'm still working on them. Like I still definitely have anxiety and I'm working on it and I'm working on getting better at dealing with it. But yeah, I feel like I do have experience, but that's not what made me decide to go into it. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, so.
No, that's so interesting because that really shows how much of a, I don't know, passion, but like how raw and real it is.
Yeah.
Like it is something you really want to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all for the new year.
But I always feel really uncomfortable though. Like when you just said to me just now, like, oh, you've had a lot of bad things happen to you in your life. Like, I understand what you mean, but I really don't see it like that. Like, I feel like I'm quite privileged. I don't have any trauma in my life. I had a really great family upbringing, really happy childhood. The shit that happened to me, I brought it on myself kind of when I was older, you know? So when you say like you've had a lot of bad things happen to you, I have friends and I have people that I know like that I met through school and stuff that have really actually been through shit.
Right.
So I'm like, no, like I don't know. I just feel like I'm kind of like a victim when I think of myself like that. So I don't think of myself like that. But
no,
I know what you mean though. Mental health wise, I've been through shit.
I think it's healthy to recognize that you've been through what you've been through.
Yes, exactly.
And it's fine to say that it is a mental health issue and you went through something that was hard. So that's kind of what I meant. I know what you're saying though for sure because that victim mentality it never works.
No,
and you don't have that at all. I never have thought you've had a victim mentality.
I always try to think when I am in that mentality where oh, woe is me and life is so hard and blah blah blah. I try to think of somebody, which is so easy because it's like there's tons and tons and tons of millions of people that are
you walk down the street, right?
Oh yeah, but like people starving and people at war and people who have chronic illnesses and. Yeah, like you just look next to you and that person is most definitely worse off than you, most likely. So I try, I'm kind of feel shitty sometimes about, being in a depression or whatever when it's like, okay.
No, I mean, but, in the end of the day, there's always someone that has it worse than you.
Of course.
So that's something that you'll have to accept. But a part of that message, though, is that you need to realize that you are also human and you also have limits.
No,
but
you're
not
right.
limits, just things that you've gone through that are heavy. I mean, I've gone through experiences. I don't look at them as, oh, man, I went through such a hard thing. I look at them as I I overcame and through adversity, and now I'm a better person.
And
than
they
that.
shape who you are.
There's still like that stuff still happened, and they were wrong and they were bad, but I overcame them.
And you learn from them, and they make you stronger. Like, I know that sounds so cliche, but it's so true.
Yeah, those cliches really are true. Keep moving forward. They make whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
You learn more about yourself through everything.
So yeah. I don't know. That's cool. I mean, and I don't know that you know my 6 months of experience with the certain type of management that I had to deal with, and I stuck to it. I didn't quit. I didn't go, oh, I'm giving up. I went through the very end, and
you're not a quitter.
And eventually,
we've established that.
And you realize the truth. Like at the end of it all, you realize who the real person is here. So that really changed the way I view things, because perseverance really shapes the way you are, and it really shows your integrity. It doesn't, so anyway, that's another thing to talk about.
Totally.
But,
yeah. And I just back to like this time of year and Christmas and stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's just like, I feel like this is a time of year where, I don't know, it brings out a lot of stress in people, and it brings out a lot of sadness. I don't know why. I guess it's because if you're not in a place of, I don't know, if you're not in a good place of finances or, socially, or it's going to be very obvious at this time of year type of thing. I don't know.
Well,
it brings out the worst in people, I feel, at this time of year, but also the best.
Well, I think studies show, I think we went to a improv. No, not improv. We went to a stand-up a couple nights ago with Michelle.
Why didn't you invite me next time? I love that shit. Where'd you guys go?
We went on Main Street.
Somewhere on Main Street.
Okay, because I don't know if you've heard of Yuck Yucks.
Oh, yeah.
But Yuck Yucks is like literally a block away from where I live now.
Oh.
It's on Canby and 12th, and I'm on Canby
I'll let
and
Michelle know.
And 10th. Yeah, let her know, and we can all go there one night.
It was last minute anyway, so when we decided to do it, well, we didn't. Michelle asked us. It was really last minute.
That's so fun.
And anyway, so it was actually an anxiety show. It was based off of anxiety, and I think
everybody can relate to anxiety, so I love that.
Yeah, it was a little depressing for me though. I didn't expect it. I was like wanting to laugh, and I did, but I don't think I'm used to that sort of comedy. I like more like dark things, not depressing things. Those are two kind of the same.
Well, now I'm kind of curious to know what was sort of what the content.
Well, like
was.
mental illness. They talked about mental illness a lot. So all of those different types: depression, anxiety, bipolar, all of them.
Yeah.
This guy was from. He was like a ex-convict.
Oh wow.
He was and he went through all of that, and he had a bad relationship with his family, and it was just a little bit too much for me. But anyway, so I think studies show. I think it was the main girl, the host. She said that a lot of the reasons why people feel that way during Christmas is because when families come together, when families are growing, and like when you're a child in your family, fights particularly happen because there is that pressure of getting presents, of making sure everyone's fed. You have family coming over, there's higher chances of pressure, so therefore there are a lot more arguments and fights, and that nostalgia reminds, and it's like it just keeps going. Then you have that, but then you have the nostalgia of of those memories of arguments, right? So it's kind of like this it's hard to explain, but it's like this wave of continuous bullshit that people keep feeling during, and the nostalgia that people keep feeling. Like, for example, my older brother, he hates Christmas because he hates arguments that happen with my family. It's like he expects them, which doesn't happen all the time, but he still expects it because of what's happened to him in the past.
Right.
So I think that's why a lot of people kind of it's the nostalgia, the negative, like when families come together, usually claws are out. So I don't know if that's like it for you or for Justin, but it was definitely sometimes for us. I've had many good Christmases though when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think my parents were really good with that. When I started getting older though, they kind of were like, oh fuck it, we're gonna fight, and they fought. So that was fine because we were mature enough and our brains were developed enough to go like, they're just being idiots, they're fighting.
Yeah. Because really Christmas is just another day.
Exactly.
So
it's Jesus' birthday, which I don't think is actually true.
Isn't it Easter?
No, he was born. He was born again. Like
Easter's
he was thrown it. He was put into the tomb, and then he rose again on the third day. But I don't think December 25th is Jesus's birthday. I don't think that's when he was born in the manger. I think there's actually
Really? I thought that was the whole point.
Well, it is the whole point.
Oh,
but
yeah.
When is the day? Like, do we really know anything? Like,
No.
I don't know.
Really, it was like the winter solstice, which is the 21st, and then they're just like, just put it close to another
Right,
holiday.
yeah, you know something about that.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of bullshit. Adam Ruins Everything. Guys, go watch
YouTube
it.
series.
It's amazing.
Wait, what
YouTube.
is it called?
Adam Ruins Everything. His name is Adam. He's a comedian. He is
Oh.
entrepreneur.
You recommend
he's
it?
an entertainer. He is so good at ruining everything. Adam Ruins Facebook. Adam Ruins vehicles.
I thought
Adam
you were talking
ruins-
about like Adam and Eve.
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's
cool.
actually funny. Adam ruins everything. Like, it's
Nice.
so funny. Like, it's very educational. It makes you critically think about things.
Is it just like one video, or is it like does
multiple videos?
Oh,
You
nice.
literally, like, swear to God, you start watching it, you'll continue to watch it.
Maybe we
over
should
again.
watch them tomorrow night.
Yeah, I like those fingers in your mouth. Hey, Amanda.
Whatever, they don't look like your hands. No, you're right. I know. I'm always telling Dustin to not bite his fingernails, and here I am.
I know it sucks that you're working today. I kind of almost want to hang out with you today.
What?
After it sucks that you're working today. I almost kind of just want to chill.
I
with
know. But
But-
yeah, we'll hang out tomorrow, and it'll be fantastical. But on another note, my legs are really hairy, and I need to shave them.
You. Shave it off. Shave it off.
It's been like a month.
She's like a mammoth over here.
Oh, you can't see shit.
I can see the bumps coming out off your.
I'm actually very
skin
lucky.
juice.
I can go about a month, and my legs stay pretty good. But after a month,
My
I
legs.
turn into an Amazon woman
my legs haven't gotten hairier though. It's weird.
because you don't shave them at all. Do you
So if-
shave your legs?
So if I would shave my legs again,
Well, yeah. The more you shave your legs, the more they grow back faster, thicker, darker every time. That's the myth. I don't know if that's true.
actually a myth.
Is it? Okay. And I've never
far as I
shaved my
understood.
arms. That's crazy. Girls who shave their arms, I don't know why you do that. It's too much. It's so much more work, and
Okay.
it's just going to get worse.
here's the thing though. When I was shaving, I thought I believed in it fully. I didn't realize that I came with good genes in terms of scruff. Like, I have a really good 5 o'clock shadow and a good beard.
Nice.
And that came from my dad. But I was like shaving every day to get rid of it because I was so insecure with my beard. And I couldn't control it. And I realized, like, oh my God, the fact that I'm shaving it is the reason why I have so much on my face, but it wasn't. It was just because my dad has a good 5 o'clock
Yeah,
shadow.
I've got really good genes in terms of hair as well. I'm not hairy at all. I'm
Yeah.
lucky. And the hair that I do have is quite light. It's like blonde. So, yeah. Because I have a couple friends who are Middle Eastern. Like one of my good friends is Lebanese. And she's just like, oh, I hate you. Because like, and
Lebanese.
Habibi. She calls
Lebanese.
me Habibi.
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 It's me, Habibi.
Aha. All right. I think, are we pretty much done for today?
Yeah, guys.
Well, have a great holiday, guys.
Yes, holidays.
I mean, by the time you guys hear this, it's probably going to be like March.
Oh boy.
So happy St. Patrick's Day.
We actually got we got the picture done.
We got the profile picture.
Oh gosh, that's exciting. Are you
Yeah.
guys going to put it up?
We are.
That's
and
kind of what we've been waiting on, guys. We wanted to get a picture up, and then we were going to start.
descriptions.
Well, I think we'll start releasing one podcast a week, Justin.
Yeah, I think we'll drop like 5 because we have quite a bit right now. And
I know,
then
we have
do-
7.
And then we'll do 1 episode per week, yeah.
Cool. So we're going to drop. Wait, we're going to drop 5
Or
all
3.
at once.
I don't
3.
know.
I think 3.
3 is good.
We're just going to drop all 7 at once.
So HCFI FHY.
No, that's wrong. We're never
just-
going to get this right.
HCI FHY.
Yeah, that's right.
At gmail.com.
Yeah.
That's our email. And then what is the website, Justin?
HCIFHY.com. Oh my God, they're almost the same.
They are almost the same.
Great.
And then
That
all of our
website-
like social media handles are all under that as well, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you'll
Instagram,
find
Facebook,
and
Twitter.
on that sorry. On that website you're going to find all of those social
Are you dying?
yes.
Okay.
Social media accounts. So you'll be fine. And then
It's okay. I know CPR. No, I seriously do. I got my occupational CPR, occupational first aid in April.
where you were the one pressing on the
Yeah,
plastic
we had
body.
the dummies. Yep. It was a whole day worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in good hands.
Thank you. I also have first aid too, by the way.
Good.
I know I'm just the
Because
particular.
I don't know shit. I forgot everything. I always pray to God nobody fucking starts suffocating in front of me. I'm like, oh shit. No, I would figure it out.
I know I'm the typical man that doesn't know anything, but I do
The
know
typical
some
man.
first aid.
Oh boy.
Anyway, so yeah, social media on our website, and we want to hear stories at work. that you've experienced, viewers. Please,
or anything that you guys think that would be appropriate to talk on the podcast about. Yeah, relevant. Exactly.
Actually, you could ask us anything. Honestly, we'll probably talk about it. But
yeah, like why your penis is dark. I'm just kidding. Bleep that out.
I'm gonna keep that in.
Bleep. Bleep. I'm not a doctor. Please don't ask me that. I don't know.
What is it like? Hey, it's Amando.
It's Amando. My penis is discolored. No.
Oh my god,
you
that's
must.
so funny.
If you submit like an audio question, you must begin it with "Hey, it's Amando."
Oh god. I don't know what the hell I was thinking that day. I was completely sober too.
I love it.
All right. Have a great fucking day.
Bye.